Okay, let's try this again. This is take number 2. I was using Solaria to record the first attempt, and it didn't work out, mainly because the audio kept cutting out. So I had to check my levels on that. But I needed to move on, try it again, and here we go. So, yeah, so my Raspberry Pi is up there. So, as you can see here, here we have a cluster case, and it contains 4 Raspberry Pi single board computers, or SBC. And, they are from left to right, CoOS, Aurora, Uppsala, and Geffen. There you are. So, yeah, so I initially started using these back in 2017 with this guy right here. That's Raspberry Pi 2, and its name is Aurora. And that was to start up testing for software. It's a web control panel for Minecraft servers. And excuse me one moment while I fix this. And to use a Raspberry Pi to host home servers for Minecraft. And I helped the developer, who's over in Denmark, and I had, after everything went live and we had a production copy, I bought 3 additional Raspberry Pis. That would be what is now up there as Aurora, Uppsala, and Geffen. And those were my Minecraft servers. But after it went stale and Microsoft bought out Mojang, or the Minecraft property and everything, I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. So then I had 3 Raspberry Pis I wasn't doing anything with. And then I had bought a 4th one to use as a media center using OSMC, Open Source Media Center, which has a build of Kodi in it for Media Center for my TV. So, to play all my movies and TV shows and stuff like that. The ones I've got DVDs for. But I don't need that anymore because my Roku unit, I can plug in a hard drive or USB stick and use that. There's an app channel thing on Roku that allows me to do that. So that's what I do, and I've done it ever since. So that Raspberry Pi, it's a 3B plus. So it's more capable than the 3s that I had for Minecraft servers. But I didn't have anything for it to do. But I came up with projects for each of them. Aurora and Uppsala are network drives. Granted, their performance is only as much as fast as a USB 2.0, but for what I do, so minuscule and tiny and stuff like that, it's fine. Geffen ultimately became my Pi-hole server, and to block ads and the pulling of logs and stuff like that from the Roku, and and similar stuff like that. Block things like adult content, stuff like that, because I don't need that, and neither does the other person in here. So there we go. So that left CoOS. That left that 4th Raspberry. It's been sitting there ever since I've had it up there, not doing anything, and it is now my Monero crypto miner, and it's been running for about a week, maybe a little more than a week and a half, maybe. And that's just so that it has something to do, just something. So that's just not sitting there collecting dust. It's just doing that, and what it mines is it's tiddly-squeak. It's nothing. So, but it's doing it. So I have no problem with that. So this case, it's a cluster case. So you can have a cluster of Raspberry Pis. So I've got those 4. Could I cluster them all together to serve as a single unit? Sure, I could do that. Do I want to? No, because each individual card / Raspberry has its own duty, job, function, purpose. You know, it's like I could network them all together, combine them all into a single unit, and then maybe run 4 virtual machines from there. But that's too much work for me. It's easier just, they're already set up, they're already running, they're fine just the way they are. So I just need the cluster case just to hold them. That's pretty much it. So, but in regards to the identity crisis, is you know, they each have had their own host name ever since 17, really, over the years. And because it's a cluster case, it's a single unit, why not identify it as a single hub of raspberries? So I decided, you know, since I'm into things regarding, you know, the Old Norse, you know, it's my Mjolnir pendant, you know, leather strapping of sorts around it. Mjolnir there. I've got, I tilted the camera in the first take towards that. You know, you can see the pieces of it. That's my Odin's Raven banner. I've got this here. This is a cast runes on. It's a circle of protection. I've got actual runes in here. These are, I'll just briefly show one again. It's like that. You know, that's what it's all in it's in Futhark. I can't remember if it's younger or older Futhark, but it's runes inscribed on slivers of deer antler. That's it. This is real deer antler. So, and I use this to cast them onto. Well, I haven't done it yet, but it's there. So if I have any guests over and they want their runes read, well, sure, I could do that. It's essentially the way I would do it is I would do a 3 rune for past, present, and future. And I have a document that has these all in there, and it describes them and everything. And yeah, it's just for fun and stuff like that. And, you know, I've got a little statuette of the goddess Freya right here. And I keep this out on display on that shelf right next to my other horn cups. I've got 3 altogether. Actually, no, I've got 4. The last one is, I think it's in the bar or it's in the bedroom. I can't remember which. But I've got the one that I drink out of. That's this one. I put water in it. So, actually, I need to go get more water. Be right back. Okay, I got more water. Excuse me. Okay, so this cluster case, it's like, you know, it's a single unit. You know, I've got Koas, Aurora, Uppsala, and Geffen. Koas is the name of a county here in New Hampshire. It's the northernmost county. Aurora is the name of this one, but I decided to carry it over when I made this case and stuff like that. Uppsala, that is an Old Norse nod to Gamla Uppsala, temple for, you know, where they honored their gods, worshiped their gods, and stuff like that. It's a single location because you don't need a church or a specific location to go worship them, those gods and stuff like that. They're just out there. So is God and so on and so forth, stuff like that. But, you know, typically, where do you go? You go to a specific place at a specific time to go worship on a specific day and stuff like that. With the Norse gods, it's whenever, wherever. So it's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So, and then Geffen, which is a Norse goddess. She is of the forest, and she would feed people, you know, whenever they needed to eat, if they were hungry, and she'd be like, here, I'll give you something, stuff like that. So the I wanted something related to the Old Norse / Vikings and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see. Well, I've got the Freya statuette up there. I have another statuette of her and of Odin together. So those are like the two gods that I like the best about it, because Freya happens to be the goddess of love, fertility, and war. Figure that one out. How do you stick war with love? I don't know. But essentially, a little jokingly thing that I have on it is she will love you to death, but don't make her angry. So my friend that I call Freya here at the office, she'll love you to death, but don't make her angry. No, you wouldn't like her when she's angry. No, she's not the She-Hulk. Jeez. But anyhow, I wanted something for this to be something related to Old Norse and stuff like that. So I started thinking about it, and it's something related to Freya, in particular, stuff like that. So I'm thinking, I'm like, well, there's Valhalla, and I'm like, no, that's something that gets run over the coals in today's media and stuff like that. And you'd be like, because shows like Vikings and Vikings Valhalla and Last Kingdom and everything like that, everybody talks about Valhalla. And, oh, I'm a warrior, I'm going to die in battle and stuff like that, and the Valkyries are going to take me to Valhalla. That's great. Go with it. What about the rest of us? How about folks like me? I'm just common folk. That's where Freya comes in mind. In Asgard, there's different regions, and Valhalla happens to be in the region that is particularly run by Odin specifically, and it's for all the great warriors. Freya gets her own as well, and the area is called Folkvanger, and her hall is called Sesrimir. So, and they're both great halls with many seats in them and stuff like that. And what happens is that, the Valkyries, they bring the souls of warriors, slain warriors, to Asgard, and then they get split up. The mass of them, they get split up between Odin and Freya. Odin gets all of the warriors, all of the really strong warriors and stuff like that. Freya gets the other half of the warriors and everybody else, the common folk, stuff like that. And so that would be the realm that I happen to fall into. So I'm like, all right. So the overall realm name is called Folkvanger, which is made up of two words. Folk, which is just like you think it is. It's folk, F-O-L-K, people. And then Vanger, V-A-N-G-R. That's how it's spelled in English, at least. Which means a clearing, a field, an open area, a meadow, things like that. And of course there's trees there, forest area, stuff like that. I'm thinking about the afterlife and getting split up, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, if after I pass away and stuff like that, and next thing you know, I find myself in Asgard and I see the two of them, and be like, I would look at Odin and be like, hey guy, sorry, I'm not with you. I have no great battles. No, I'm not the kind of warrior you're looking for. I'm an everyday warrior. I'll go with Freya. Besides, she loves me. I just won't make her angry. Plus, I'd love to have a nice little cabin off in the woods someplace and just be my thing. Any of the senses. So, the raspberries. That cluster case, I've decided to call it Folkvanger. So, F-O-L-K-V-A-N-G-R. And, so, and of course, I got my little things about it is when I do host names and stuff like that, I leave out vowels. So I've already done the changes and stuff like that on all of them. The last one was done during the first attempt at recording this, so I can't actually show you the process exactly. I can kind of show you what I did. So that's what I'm going to do. So why don't we do that? All right, so we are now into Folkvanger 2, which is formerly Aurora. So this is where I did all my work on earlier, and this is my login bash script. Essentially, it's my login script, and what you see here, this this section here and down in here, this is all a text file that the script calls out to display. And I showed how to do that. I basically I removed, this was saying Aurora, and I removed that, and I put in this one here, and I used an ASCII text artwork website where you could type in something and pick a font style, and it pushes it out in that. So, and I removed some stuff here. So we got Raspberry Pi file server 2.0, so it's the second version of it. And I got some basic information down here: OS, host, CPU, and drive capacity, because it's a network drive. So there's that. So how do we change the host name in here? So let me show you. You would type in sudo space raspi dash config, and then you hit enter, and it brings you into this menu here. So what you would want to do is pick the first one right off the top, system options, it's highlighted. So do that, and then get the little screen blinky, and we're brought into the next menu: wireless LAN, audio, password, host name. That's the one we want. So you would select that one, you'd hit enter, and then it will give you a little bit of a notice about host names, about what kind of characters you can use and stuff like that. So then you're brought into this spot here. Now, the host name I deleted it. I basically backspace to delete it, stuff like that. But this is where you'd put in your new host name, like that. And then you'd come down here to OK, and you would hit enter for that, and it would basically change it and bring you back. So we would basically have to change this back and everything like that. Say new host name right there. So I am going to put mine back in, and we will return in just a moment. Okay, I did that, and it's all done. So we are going to exit out of here. So we go basically escape and exit out of there. So if you went out manually, we'll do that. All right. So we make our change, we come out of here, and then we would basically tab over to finish. And if it needed to be rebooted, you would be notified by a message that it needs to be rebooted in order for the change to take place. Well, there was no actual change in this instance, so there's not going to be a reboot. So it doesn't have to be. So there we go. Okay, so there we go. That is how we change a host name on a Raspberry, at least. And so there's that. So this case or group of Raspberries will no longer risk suffering a identity crisis. So there we go. So the group altogether is Folkvanger, and that's in honor of Freya's realm in Asgard, or her region that she is in charge of, stuff like that. So there we are. And yeah, lots of fun. So if you happen to like this content, give it a like, please. I would appreciate it. Give me a little more exposure with the algorithm. If you want to see more content such as this, then please subscribe and leave a comment down below. I would certainly appreciate it. I keep looking for it, and the only thing that I'm seeing is, as of late, is people being like, "Hey, I've got this crypto-y kind of thing. How can I move stuff to Binance?" No. Anyways, so we'll be back in the future for further content, things of that sort. And so thank you very much. Skál. Drink to victory.